make your life miserable, right? You can blame me for your sleepless nights, right? Anyway, so today we're going to talk about certification roadmaps and updates. What's happening in the certification program? What are some of the new changes? How can you best leverage certification exams for things like recertification? So for those of you, can I get a hand on how many people are certified already? CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, a few, right? So we have a good mix of audience, and I will try to kind of cover all the information that is for a new customer, meaning somebody who is starting the journey, as well as somebody who's already into the certification programs. So first, I have two topics to cover today. One is the certification roadmap, and I'm going to talk more about what do I mean by that. And then I'm going to talk about some new certification that we recently launched at Cisco Live this year, which is on multi-cloud certifications. All right. So let's talk about the certification roadmap first. So this is just a high-level overview of all the different programs that we have. We have 4 levels of certification. We have the entry level, then we have the associate, professional, and expert. So you work your way from left to right. And one important information is that it's not mandatory, like a prerequisite to move from left to right. You can always start in the middle. Let's say you have 3 to 5 years of work experience in the job, you can always go straight into CCNP or maybe CCIE. But if you are a beginner, you have just a 1 year experience, you're just starting your career in networking, you can start from the entry level and move up through the associate and so on. We have, I call it 3 swim lanes. We have the engineering swim lane, which is all about networking, right? So everything under the umbrella of networking, security, collaboration, data center, ACI, cybersecurity, all of those things. Then we have the software swim lane, which is all about programmability, automation, and all the stuff to do with the developer networking, right? And then we have the cyber operations certifications. Again, you move from left to right, okay? So what we are doing now is we are kind of aligning our certification to the fast-moving technology changes, right? I mean, you see at Cisco Live, all the industry is shifting, whether it's security, collaboration, data center, all the technologies are shifting really fast. So one thing that we do in our certification program is how do we make sure that it aligns really well to 2 things. One is the technology, right? Like if you're taking an exam, whether CCNA or CCNP or CCIE, you want to make sure that technically speaking, it's aligned to the latest products and solutions. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the kind of, I call it the hook, is the job role. Meaning, whenever we design a certification program, we make sure that it maps to a certain job persona. For example, network engineer is a job role, is a persona. Software developer, cyber ops, right? Different type of job roles, solution architects, different type of job role, demand different type of certification and skill set. So those are the 2 pillars we kind of hook up to, the technology alignment and the job role alignment. So what we are doing now is we are updating the program more frequently. Previously, it was all about guessing, like when is the next time CCIE changing or when is the next time CCNA changing. People were not familiar with it. What we are doing now is we are creating a systematic approach. We call it like the agile revision, right? Which is more predictable. Like, for example, anybody studying for CCNP over here in the room, right? Now, imagine you are planning to take an exam next month, and suddenly I drop a bomb on you and say, oh, by the way, next Monday I'm changing the exam. And you're like, what? I haven't studied for it. I was doing X, Y, and Z. So we want you to be aligned to the roadmap. And you should know that let's say next July or next September, something is changing. You want that information. So Cisco has now published a calendar called the roadmap. certification roadmap. It's very systematic, very iterative. Every year is the same cycle. So for example, if you look at, let's take an example, data center. In the Q2 data center, we made some announcement. So you follow the color coding, 3 color coding, orange, blue, and green. So let's take example, you start with data center orange, meaning we are reviewing certification. What do I mean by that? We take all the exams in data center portfolio, whether CCNA, CCNP, CCI, we gather subject matters in the room, and we say, let's look at the blueprint. Is it still aligned to what the industry is using? Are the products still relevant? Has the technology changed or shifted? Or is there something that has been retired or end of life? Some product kind of goes to end of life. So we do that by what we call a review cycle. Once we are happy with the final changes, we then publish the information on Cisco.com, which is you customers, right? So in the subsequent quarter, we will announce it. So you see data center in the month of August, September, October, every single calendar year, August, September, October, data center exams will be reviewed. Then come Q2, data center, November, December, January, we will make a public announcement. Then you follow the same data center green, February, March, April, data center exams will change. So if somebody is studying for data center, they exactly know that come somewhere between this time frame, the exam is going to change. So they can map their journey according to the roadmap. Make sense? This information was not available before. Now it's available, and I'll show you where on what website. So another important information is the blueprint version number. This is very important. Previously, there was no method to identify what blueprint you're studying for, what exam you're studying for, and how do you kind of, when you're buying a Cisco Press book, how do you know this Cisco Press book is mapping to the exam that I'm going to give on Monday morning? There was no correlation. We have solved that with blueprint version numbers. So now every blueprint, if you go on Cisco.com, you look at CCNA blueprint, CCI blueprint, they will all be labeled by X.Y, meaning like 1.0, 2.0, 3.1, 4.5, whatever the version number is. Now, when we make the changes that I mentioned in the previous slide, there are 2 types of changes. If the technology has shifted drastically, and I've put a percentage on my next slide, if it is more than 20%, like technology has changed, a lot of products and software and solutions, then it will be a major change. So we move from 2.0 to 3.0 to 4.0. So you can easily see the number incrementing X.Y, like the number is increasing. If the change is very small, incremental, bite size, we call it minor revision. Agile is the world of agile, right? Everybody uses that in the product life cycle. So if the technology has shifted very small, we'll say only 10% of your exam is changing, then you will see the blueprint version moving from 2.1 to 2.2 to 2.3. So now this gives you a clear indicator of how to read the blueprint, what material to use, whether it's a training material or a Cisco Press book or some video blog or some content online. They will all be labeled with the blueprint version number. And if it is not, you can ask the publisher, whoever the author is, hey, this content that you are publishing, which blueprint does it align to? Is it aligning to 2.1 or 2.2, right? So each blueprint will have a version number. When we publish the blueprint version number, we will also publish something called the release notes. The release note is basically the information of what is changing in the exam. We will put side by side the old blueprint and the new blueprint, and we'll show you section 2.1 change from X to Y. So you don't need to worry about decrypting it and deciphering it. We've already done that for you. in the release note. So you pull up the release note, it will give you side-by-side comparison of what has changed. Okay? Because that delta, whatever that delta is, 10%, 15%, you need to study, right? I mean, if you're planning to take your exam soon. In addition to release note, we are also publishing something called a release learning metrics. Learning metrics is basically like a pointer, a guideline for preparation. For example, you are studying for CCNA. We publish CCNA Blueprint Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, and we say, well, Section 1, this is a Cisco Press book you should read, or these are the Cisco Live presentations you should read. So we give you all those pointers. It's like a guideline. One important thing is this release, the learning metric is a living document, because as we make iteration, we keep updating this. It's an Excel sheet published on Cisco.com. It's an Excel sheet. You just download it on your laptop, right? We also do a lot of updates. We do webinars, videos, blogs. So you can always kind of come to this website. This is one key takeaway. If there was one slide that you could take away, is this website. Very easy to remember, cisco.com/go/cert roadmap, CERT roadmap. This website you have to visit very frequently, because every time, let's say in the month of February, something changed. In the month of June, something changed. So you constantly keep visiting this website, you bookmark it, and you come and see whether data center is changing, or security is changing, or service provider is changing. Any questions so far? Is it good? So the question is there a method to do subscription on this website so I get kind of a push notification? Yes, there is, but I still recommend you visit frequently, because sometimes the push notification also depends on your profile. Like if on the profile you have selected do not send me spam, like do not send me marketing, then we will not send you that information. So it depends. So yeah, but there is a way to subscribe on this page, and we'll do push notifications. All right, so that was my first segment of this presentation. The second segment is the new multi-cloud certification that we have launched just now in Cisco Live. And by the way, these exams are not ready, like you cannot take them yet, but the information is available. The blueprint has been published. You can start studying for it. And the exams are changing. I'll show you the exact dates when the exam is going to be ready. So as we all know, cloud as a technology, multi-cloud as a technology is fast changing. It's kind of changing all the job roles, all the expectation in the industry. And certification is a method to kind of give you that endorsement that you have the right skills to implement and deploy multi-cloud solutions. So we are proud to introduce some new breed of exams that kind of will measure your skills for multi-cloud solutions. This is a slide from our business unit which shows what are the different pillars of multi-cloud solutions. And it goes by kind of the acronym Cisco CISCO. So C for continuity, I for insights, S for security, C for connectivity, O for operate. So you will see the three pillars that we are aligning to the Cisco technology, that security, connectivity, and operate. These are the three new exams that we are launching, and we are working on more, but today we have announced these three new exams. One on cloud security, one on cloud connectivity, and the third one on service provider cloud. And here's the three new exams that I was talking about. So the first one is called Designing and Implementing Cloud Connectivity. The exam number is 300-440, and we are going to start testing on September 20. But today, you can go on the website, you can download the blueprint, you can see what the blueprint looks like, what topics you need to study, what Cisco Press book do you need to purchase, what training you need to purchase, and start preparing. And come September 20, you can take the new exam. The second exam is on security, cloud security, designing and implementing secure cloud access for users and endpoints. This is all based on zero trust and the entire application for endpoint security and user-based security on cloud, right? So this is about the security, and the first date to test this is November 20. So it's still further out, but you still have time to prepare for it. And the third exam will be on service provider. So it's designing and implementing Cisco service provider cloud network infrastructure. So all about SP cloud. And the first date to test is January 20. So these are the three new exams on multi-cloud portfolio. If you need more information, I'll be hanging around after the session. You can ask me. We also have our team over here, so I can point you to the right person if you need any information. Now, this is an important slide. I wanted to give some more information in addition to multi-cloud. This is our full spectrum of all the exams that we have. Like in a single slide, if I can paint a picture, this is all the exams. The thing that I would like to show you, first of all, the three cloud certifications. So the multi-cloud, cloud connectivity, the green one, is mapping on the enterprise portfolio. The blue one, cloud security, is mapping to the security portfolio because it's cloud security. And the third one is SP cloud, mapping on the service provider portfolio. So you can see how the mapping works. We have different technology stacks, enterprise, security, data center, and so forth, right? The other important thing, which is not part of multi-cloud, but just came to my mind, for those of you who are kind of preparing certification and kind of in the journey, let's say if you are taking enterprise, CCNP enterprise. So what exam will you take? We call it 1+1 model. You take the core exam, technology core, and you choose one of the concentration, only one. So any one of the green boxes. You can take advanced routing, enterprise design, SD-WAN, wireless, or cloud connectivity, only one. But you see also the dark blue one, enterprise automation, the dark blue one. I call it the double dip concept. Double dip as in, hear me out. You take the core exam, you take the enterprise automation exam, what do you become? You become CCNP enterprise, right? What the advantage is, if you take the automation exam, you see this dotted line over here, you have already fulfilled the concentration for DevNet professional. By taking DevNet core, only one more exam, you also become DevNet professional. So with 3 exams, you have 2 certifications, only 3 exams. So that's how you add value or kind of more runway to your certification journey. Make sense? So these dotted line exams kind of play double. They work for CCNP as well as DevNet. So it's a good thing. Even for those of you who are already certified and you are doing your recertification, I strongly recommend that you take one of the automation exam, whichever track you want to take, enterprise auto, security, SP, all of them. They all work the same way, double dip. All right? This is the link for the multi-cloud certification. So again, /go/multi-cloud certs. All the information is documented on our website. And I will still be hanging around in the booth. So if you have any questions, please fill out the survey. Now we have a surprise gift. And the way it works is, let me show you. So we have one gift the person can choose. And what we have done, unfortunately for the standing folks, I'm sorry, but the people who are on the chair, we have hidden one ticket underneath your chair. So check your chair. Who found the ticket? Yeah, he's the winner. All right. So please come. You can select one of these gifts, and this is yours. Again, thank you so much for attending. Please fill out the survey, and I will be around if you have any questions whatsoever, any question about certification program, please come see me. Thank you.